The Kawasaki KX450 is arguably the most highly anticipated motocross bike of 2019. Everything, including the model name, as Green dropped the F from its naming convention of its full-size motocross bikes, is new. Kawasaki's flagship motocrosser receives an all-new electric start-equipped engine, a Showa 49mm coil spring fork, a new Showa shock, and a completely revised chassis. The KX450 is also the first Japanese motocross bike to come with a hydraulic clutch. Kawasaki's efforts with its latest generation KX450 paid off with a big win in the 2019 450 MX Shootout. Before we began the test, we mounted a Dunlop D404 street tire on the rear wheel and ran the KX450 on our in-house dyno, where it produced 51.96 horsepower at 9,310 RPM and 32.3 pound-feet of torque at 6,900 RPM. With these figures, the Kawasaki ranks second in horsepower and fifth in torque among the 6 bikes in this test. After the dyno runs were complete, we put on a fresh set of Dunlop's all-new MX33 soft to intermediate terrain tires to ensure consistency and traction among the 6 competitors through the duration of our test. The all-new KX450 engine is powerful and easy to go fast on. The power band is very usable as it's free revving and has plenty of torque. The bottom end is excellent, not too strong to where it feels jerky, but more than enough to be comfortably lugged in a higher gear. The KX has great top end and over rev, which makes it easy to carry a gear for a long time before needing to shift. Tuning the power is done with 3 couplers that allow for the selection of pre-programmed fuel injection and ignition maps. The 3 couplers are differentiated by color and the type of dirt they're designed to handle. Green is standard, white is soft, and black is hard. The green coupler is a good stock setting, while the white coupler revs quicker and works best when the conditions are deep and loamy, usually at the beginning of the day. The black coupler is slightly richer and does not rev out as quickly, making the power delivery very manageable and easier to ride, especially when the track becomes more run-in and hard-packed. The Nissan hydraulic clutch works great, and the lever feel is light and easy to modulate. The engine shifts smoothly and the gearing is good as well. The muffler sticks out pretty far, which is a small price to pay for how pleasantly quiet the bike is. Moving on to the suspension, the stock settings on the fork and shock are very good. Each test rider made very few, if any, changes over the 2-day test, and those who did make changes found the setting they were looking for with 1 or 2 clicks of adjustment. The fork has more of a comfort-oriented feel to it, which is partially due to the spring rate being a bit soft. Heavier test riders occasionally bottomed the fork on big impacts, but felt it could be alleviated with a stiffer spring rate. The valving is great, and the fork action is very progressive too. Aside from the occasional hard landing, the fork soaks up everything from small braking bumps to nearly all large hits with plenty of comfort and predictability. The shock is well matched to the fork, and at 105mm of sag, the bike feels balanced. It stays planted and predictable in rough conditions and holds up well on big impacts. In the handling department, the KX450 chassis not only retains the same agreeableness the prior year model had, but is further improved. It's remarkably narrow from front to rear, especially in the radiator shroud area. It's the slimmest feeling bike in the class, has a very roomy cockpit area, and a flat seat, all of which makes it easy to move forward and back on while riding. The Kawasaki came in at 246 pounds on our automotive scales, which makes it the 3rd lightest bike in the shootout and the lightest Japanese bike in the test. The KX450 turns well and is more of a front-end steering bike than it's ever been, yet it retains its confidence-inspiring stability. Overall, the ergonomics are very agreeable. The stock rental handlebar is a bit high. We'd opt for a bar with less rise or the same bar with lower mounts. The reasons why the KX450 won are that it has just about the perfect balance of everything. It has a powerful engine, very good suspension, a narrow chassis that is stable and corners well, and agreeable ergonomics. The reasons why it should not have won are that the muffler sticks out far and the stock handlebar position is a bit high. But those are 2 very minor points, especially when considering how great the bike is as a whole.